The Attica prison riot of 1971 was one of the deadliest and most notorious prison uprisings in U.S. history. The riot, which lasted for 4 days, resulted in the deaths of 43 people, including 10 correctional officers and civilian employees. The events that unfolded during the riot sparked widespread controversy and raised questions about the treatment of prisoners and the conditions in which they were housed. The Attica Correctional Facility, located in Attica, New York, had a long history of overcrowding, poor living conditions, and harsh treatments of inmates. Inmates were often subjected to physical and psychological abuse, and many had been protesting these conditions for months leading up to the riot. The final straw came on September 9, 1971, when inmates rebelled against the mistreatment and took control of the prison, taking several hostages in the process. The New York State Police were called in to assist in regaining control of the prison, and what ensued was a violent and chaotic standoff. Negotiations between prison officials and the inmates were tense and ultimately broke down, leading to a full-scale assault on the prison by law enforcement. Tear gas was used, shots were fired, and chaos reigned as the situation spiraled out of control. As the smoke cleared and the dust settled, the full extent of the devastation became clear. Bodies littered the prison yard. Both inmates and officers alike had lost their lives in the bloody conflict. The aftermath of the riot revealed a stark picture of the violence and brutality that had taken place within the walls of Attica. In the aftermath of the riot, a criminal investigation was launched to uncover the events leading up to the uprising and the actions taken during the riot itself. The investigation sought to determine who was responsible for the deaths that occurred and to hold those individuals accountable for their actions. One of the key findings of the investigation was the role that both prison officials and law enforcement played in escalating the violence during the riot. It was revealed that the decision to retake the prison by force, rather than continuing negotiations, had contributed to the high death toll. Additionally, the use of excessive force by law enforcement was cited as a contributing factor to the violence that ensued. Another important aspect of the investigation was the conditions within the prison that had led to the uprising. It was found that the overcrowding, poor living conditions, and mistreatment of inmates had created a powder keg of frustration and resentment that ultimately erupted in violence. The investigation highlighted the need for reform within the prison system to prevent future uprisings from occurring. In conclusion, the Attica prison riot of 1971 was a tragic and violent event that shocked the nation and exposed the harsh realities of the prison system. The criminal investigation that followed shed light on the factors that had contributed to the uprising and the actions taken by those involved. The lessons learned from the Attica riot continue to shape and mold the way in which prisons are managed and the treatments of inmates to this very day. Thank you for listening. I appreciate each and every single one of you from the bottom of my heart. I hope you all like it and subscribe to the channel, and I will see you next time I open the Criminal Investigation Files.